there are millions and millions and millions of people who don't get the call to write the book. So if it's coming for you, there's a reason for that. Hello, writers and crafters. I am Valerie Isan, and this is episode 193 of the podcast, and it is July 23rd as I record this. Eric is still on summer hours, so it's just a solo show today. And today's episode is all about hearing the call to write the book. So I've got this three episode series that I've designed while Eric's gone, and it's called Your Book Wants to Be Born. So, hearing the call, this episode is going to be about that moment when you've got the idea for writing the book, and that stops being this like far off fantasy, and it starts feeling like something you have to do, like it's your destiny. Even if you don't feel ready, and maybe you don't even know what you want to say yet, but if you're listening right now, it's about this hunch that you have, this stirring inside you. So, and that stirring, I think is, I think of them as like little soul whispers. It's your inner person like talking to you. And if we're brave enough and still enough, then we can hear those little whispers. So maybe that's where you are in your book writing idea journey slash, yeah. Maybe it's time. This is your soul whispering, and it's time for you to finally hear that call and acknowledge that dream you have. So anyway, first off, I want to thank my existing patrons for believing in my work here on the podcast, but also offline. And you can support me and be a patron of the arts at patreon.com/Valerie Isan. There's books over there, writing instruction, coaching, planning. I do planner plays. Right now, I do them weekly. And then monthly reflections are monthly. Those are always free for all of my members on Patreon. I don't list them as public though, so you do have to go in and mark yourself at least free there's a free tier on Patreon that you can go to, and then you'll get all the updated links and dates, cancellations, all that sort of thing. A little plug for Eric. You can also go to patreon.com/strange air stories for short stories in the paranormal mystery genre. My author update is all about Instagram. I have been really trying to play in Instagram stories lately, and maybe you've noticed. If not, please go over to Instagram, and my handle is at Valerie Isan, IHSAN. And I'm always over there talking about gratitude and there's a bunch of dog pictures over there because I love my dogs. Lots of pictures of just happy things. So if you're succumbing to doom scrolling, my page is a much more uplifting place to be. So you can go over there for pictures of fun and happiness and dogs, but also about the craft of writing and answering those aligned author soul whispers. So you head on over to Instagram and check out my stories, which I haven't been doing a lot of. I didn't even really know how to use them or why you would use them. I just posted, but in the regular feed, but I'm learning how to use stories and when to use stories and why to use stories. So yeah, go over there and check it out, Valerie Isan. And I have created a 4-month coaching container called Aligned Author, and it's geared more towards that soul-led entrepreneur that wants to write a nonfiction book kind of about their mission or like a hybrid memoir, and just wanting to reach that other audience that they maybe have not reached yet in their work. So, so you can go to valerieisan.com/aligned author if you want more information about that project. I just finished reading The Five-Star Weekend by Ellen Hildebrand. It was pretty cool. I liked it. It's a book club book. I'm meeting my book club on in tomorrow. Wow, that's tomorrow. Okay. So glad I finished it on time. So that I just finished, and so I'm finishing up Your Human Design by Shayna and Dana at Day Luna. You can go listen to their podcast. It's pretty good. I like that, and I'm enjoying the book. Um, that's it for my books. So let's get into the main topic. I'm going to go to a star cycle class in a few minutes. So I just want to quickly come on here and talk to you about heeding this call. So, this series, like I said, is called The Book You Were Born to Write. And I wanted this three-part series to be for those soul-led entrepreneurs who really know, like in their bones, like there's this book that's coming, that's wanting to come through, asking to come through. And it's not just, book is business card kind of book, but it's the book, it's the one that's been kind of flickering on the edges of your consciousness for some time now. And it's really tapping you on the shoulder at the moment. And so hopefully this series will help awaken that desire, and recognize the true reason that that book idea is stirring for you now. Throughout the series, we're going to talk about, or at least today, anyways, we're going to talk about the difference between a good idea and that soul-led calling, and signs that your book is ready to be born, even if you don't feel ready, and maybe debunk a couple of the myths that you might have, and just sort of like this calming reassurance that you're not behind, you're just on the brink. So hopefully, hopefully you will get that out of this episode. So back to that soul whisper. Um, I think that we all have the answers to all of our questions, and there is a part of you that knows that there's something you haven't said yet. And there's a story inside you that's important, and it's like vibrating inside you, and it really wants to get out. And now it's time, it has to come out. But I understand that there's thoughts that come into, like, who am I to write this? I don't have time to write this right now. I'm really busy. Um, uh, some people worry about, like, does the public really need another story about XYZ? Like this story's already been told. It's all been said before. And then the one that kind of like hits the bone for me sometimes is, like, what if nobody cares about this idea that I have, that I want to put in a book? What if nobody reads it? What if everyone thinks it's bad? So there's all of these worries, and I just want to, like, again, reassure you that you're not behind. You're not broken. You're not too late. You're exactly on time. So if you want to write this book, then I really think that you should write this book. And any doubts that you have are not evidence that it's not time yet, or that your dream is wrong in some way. It just means, if you have doubts and worries and fears, that just means that your dream matters to you. And your ego is trying to protect you and keep you small and keep you safe. Don't go there, because, what if no one cares? It's already been said before. Don't worry about it. Like, oh, you don't have time for this right now. So your ego is pretty loud. And being able to recognize that it is ego, it is resistance that's talking, and that it's not the soul whisper. The soul whisper is saying, yes, it's time. I have to write the story down, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, your mission statement, kind of a hybrid auto fiction, memoir, something, whatever it is that your soul's been whispering to you to write, it is time to do it, even if you don't feel ready. And I've been a coach or a editor or a story analyst, or I've been helping authors for like 18 years. So in all my years of doing author services, one thing that I think is really powerful to understand is that the desire to write a book doesn't come for everyone. And as writers, I, we find that kind of like mind-boggling. Like, doesn't everybody want to write a book, And we do hear of lots of people in the world that have an idea to write a book, or one day I'll write a book, or I've always wanted to write a book, like people, I hear people say that all the time. And yet, not many people actually do it. And also, even though you hear of all these people that want to write a book or think of a cool book idea or something like that, there are millions and millions and millions of people who don't get the call to write the book. So if it's coming for you, there's a reason for that. And even if you don't feel ready, and even if you're not sure what the book is about yet, even if you're scared, your book already knows you. And it's been circling probably for years. If you've read Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, she has this cool idea of ideas being kind of like these little mini entities or whatever, and they'll come to you and present themselves to you. And if you're not ready and you don't want to do it or whatever, if you don't use it, then it flits off to somebody else who will use it because it really, really wants to be born, this idea, this book. And so I kind of have this I don't know, this dual idea or belief. I want to say, I keep mixing up beliefs and ideas back and forth. I have this like dual belief, I think, that I liked Elizabeth Gilbert's idea about this little entity, this little idea that wants to be born, coming to me and saying, please pick me. But I think that the reason why it's attracted to you in the first place is because your soul is receptive in some way. Like it's the right soul to tell this story. It's the right soul to birth this idea. So I kind of believe like both are true at the same time. So the soul whisper, that you've been hearing, this little nudge, this little idea that you keep hearing about writing this book, I believe it is like your soul, your inner person trying to make contact with you, with your consciousness, with your ego, and saying, come on, let's do this thing together. So what I want you to know before I end the podcast is that you don't have to write every day, in case that's a worry. You don't have to have the whole thing outlined. You don't have to quit your business or disappear into some writing cave for, 3 months or 3 years. What you do need is some stillness and some curiosity and a commitment to listening to that soul whisper. And that's really what this podcast and this first stage actually is really all about for you, is not rushing into productivity or, making your outline or something, but it's really about like a devotion to self and soul and listening. And it's not about it's not so much about output, but more about that author alignment with self and soul. So if this is resonating with you at all, if your body is saying yes, even if your mind is saying, wait, then I invite you to go to valerieisan.com/soul whisper pages. I've created this free journaling like ritual for you, some journaling prompts, and there's a short audio meditation that's going to help connect you with that like essence of the book that wants to come through. So you can download that at valerieson.com/soul whisper pages. And before I go, I just want to leave you with one question. If your book could speak to you right now, what would it say? And go write that down. No editing, just channel it. Just write down, even if it feels dumb or it's not what you think you would write, just write down whatever comes to you and breathe. Thank you so much for joining me in this first sacred step and in this podcast series. So, next time, episode 2 of the series, we're going to explore what happens after you say yes, when your ego and your soul start playing nice together, doing a little dance, learning how to be in duality. And, it's vulnerable and it's thrilling, but it's really where your book starts forming, taking form. So until then, trust that whisper. It's not going to go anywhere. It's waiting for you to answer. So go to valerieson.com/soul whisper pages for that free download. And you can also check out the aligned author page on the website as well to see if that resonates with you. Bye for now.